Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the 5 greatest Vaughan Williams recordings. Have we all finally decided that Vaughan Williams is really one of the great 20th century composers and that he should not be merely a local talent? He deserves worldwide acclaim. His music is serious, sensuous, beautiful, completely, what's the word? It has everything. You know, it really does. And a wonderfully personal style. You know, it's just fabulous stuff. And so here we have the 5, what I think are the 5 greatest Vaughan Williams recordings, and I'm sure that some of you have your own. And if you don't, you're going to have a great time getting to know this music so that you'll be able to come back and give us your own. First, a London Symphony, which is his Symphony number 2. Adrian Boult on Warner, Boult's last recording of it, his second recording of it, actually. It's a wonderful, rich, romantic, tuneful delight of a symphony. It really is. It does end quietly, which perhaps prevents it from getting quite as much attention as it deserves. But Boult, I mean, he knew the composer, he knew the music, he knew it all. And his last recording of it, I think, is just one of the most natural and effortless and exciting and beautifully played efforts that he gave us in his late years. The sonics were always terrific. It was, as always with Boult, there are minor ensemble imprecisions here and there, but nobody misses anything. And the climaxes really rip. You know, one of the wonderful things about Boult is that people say, you know, often, similar in a way to Eugene Ormandy, you know, that he just wasn't very exciting. And maybe that's true. He didn't let go in kind of like a crazy way, but he also never underplayed anything. I mean, he lets the percussion rip. He lets the horns go crazy when they're supposed to. He knew when to intervene and when not to. And that's quite a gift. It really is. And you hear that everywhere in this performance. It's absolutely fabulous. Next, the 5 Tudor portraits. This is one of the great unknown choral works of the 20th century. It was, it's been ignored for a couple of reasons. One is that it's a secular work. The text is kind of ribald, as they would have said in the old days. You know, it's racy words, which offended some people, apparently, at the first performance. It was premiered on the same concert as Britain's Our Hunting Fathers, which was, you know, guaranteed to horrify some people as well. And so that was one count against it. And the other count against it, I think, is that it's just not a sacred work. It's not just that the text is a little racy, but it's so much easier. You know, choruses, particularly choirs, you know, which do a lot of church stuff and holiday stuff, they tend to like music of a serious or spiritual mien. And the Tudor portraits are not that. They are earthy and they're just fabulous and humorous. And they've got so much going for them. They're not like any other piece, really, written, you know, in the first half of the 20th century. And I think that the Hickox recording on Chandos it's easily the best one out there. It's amazing how little attention it gets. I mean, I've seen Dona Nobis Pacem 100 times. I've seen a whole bunch of other Vaughan Williams-y things, even Hodie, which I adore. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're fabulous pieces. Sancta Civitas is another one. He wrote all that terrific choral music. But this is his masterpiece, and this is the greatest recording of it for sure. Next, Symphony number 5. Now, Symphony number 5 is not my favorite symphony, but it seems to be Vaughan Williams anyway, but it seems to be everybody else's. I would have preferred the Pastoral Symphony, but we're talking about the 5 greatest Vaughan Williams recordings, and I'm trying to take a step back and be as objective as I can and listen to what other people are saying. And the 5th is gorgeous. I mean, it is absolutely staggeringly gorgeous. I like the Pastoral Symphony better. I like the 4th better. I like the Antarctica. I mean, I like a lot of them better. But most people seem to think the 5th is, you know, sort of the one to have. And I'm going along with that. And the best, because I know what the best recording of it is. I know what the greatest recording of it is. Andre Previn with the London Symphony on RCA, his first recording of the work. He remade it later with the Royal Philharmonic. It was quite good. And he did another one with the Curtis Orchestra in Philadelphia, which was quite good. But this first one has some really special qualities of concentration and dedication and fantastic playing by the London Symphony and really beautiful recording by RCA. It's a very special performance by any stretch of the imagination. It's just lovely. The next thing. Oh, the Tallis Fantasia. How can we have a list of the 5 greatest Vaughan Williams works without putting on the Tallis Fantasia? And the recording is Silvestri. Constantine Silvestri in Bournemouth on Warner. It's in the Silvestri box. This came as such a shock. I can't even tell you what a shock. Because I grew up on the, Barbaroli English string music performance, which is fabulous. You put that on your list. I can't possibly argue with it. However, then I heard this one and I went, oh my God. It has a spontaneous passion to go along with the music's chaste purity and nobility and loftiness of style that is just extraordinary. And so not only does Silvestri nail the climax like nobody else has before or since, but he's recorded in a fabulously resonant acoustic. It sounds just so right. It's thrilling. And there are other thrilling recordings of the Tallis Fantasia besides those. I mean, there's Ormandy, there's Metropolis, there's a whole bunch, but this is really, really one of the greatest recordings ever of anything, not just Vaughan Williams. And last but not least, Vaughan Williams, what is arguably Vaughan Williams' orchestral masterpiece, Job, a Masque for dancing, a ballet. And here I have to pick a recent recording, Andrew Manze's on Onyx. He did a complete Vaughan Williams symphony cycle. It was very hit and miss. Manze has been coming along as a conductor. He's been getting more and more compelling, and his recording of Job is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, Job was an Adrian Boult calling card. He recorded it, 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 times. It really, he knew how important it was and how great it was. But this is a performance of incredible freshness and vitality and impact. And I just think it bodes well for the future of Vaughan Williams' music on disc and in performance. And I really hope that more people get to know this work because there are a few things in the repertoire that I find more satisfying, more beautiful, more wide-ranging in its spirit and in its range of emotion. It's just extraordinary. So there you have it, the 5 greatest Vaughan Williams recordings. Let me find out what yours are. I'm very interested in getting to know them. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.